Also, were you seen by anyone when you were having a little spell?
He just writes a question mark.
Did you reach the Masquerade, you idiot?
He writes 3 question marks and looks at you rather shocked.
Oh,
You
you
lost
don't
control.
You did. Do you remember Pretty Lady that was around you? Or was Pretty Lady?
He just looks at you. There's no apparent comprehension in whatever you're talking about.
Tobias
Yeah.
perhaps was part of whatever had to break? Forced to lose?
Amnesia?
No. Forced to word.
No word.
Forget.
Not forget. Forced to
Perform.
Fluency?
die?
I don't know, Helena.
She got turned into a marionette, is what she's saying.
Oh,
Da!
okay.
That
No,
one.
okay, that one. That is better than that.
Forced to break Masquerade. Forced to feed too much.
Oh.
He writes on the piece of paper, "Tell James?" question mark.
Okay. Tobias, may use phone?
Go ahead, my dear. Should Baron make a phone call?
Yes. I'll bring the possibly very long corded phone over to the bear.
I'm imagining it's like a really long because this is a lab, and it's probably got a really long extendable cable on it
with the dial pad on the clunky phone itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even you can report good news that we have him answering questions.
This is going to sound weird. What kind of shoes was he wearing?
He will write boots, black, tall, lace up, slightly dirty. Black trousers, trench coat, leather, white shirt, open at collar.
Boots laced over or under the trousers?
Under. Military boots.
Yes, but under the trousers.
What are you thinking, David?
I'm just trying to think of the type of people that would have access to this level of mental mind fuckery, yet still be wearing practical footwear.
He writes the word goth.
I mean, perhaps someone along the lines of the Bruja, some of them, maybe.
So you'd know that the Bruja are not... It's not a classic discipline for them to know dominate. So traditionally they are more about presence.
They do presence more than nothing, but...
Dominate falls more to the Malkavians and the Ventru, and also the Tremere. But clearly it won't be a Tremere because the Tremere are fine, upstanding members of the Camarilla, and they never do anything wrong.
Well, here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Malkavians, Ventru, and Tremere generally don't tend to wear sensible footwear like that.
True enough. Although, that is a generalism. You will know that there are members of the clan that don't fit the stereotype.
Of course. But I'm working in generalities here. Just, trying to narrow down things.
Yeah.
For instance, for some reason I don't get, for some reason I don't fit the stereotype of the Malkavians. They shun me, so who knows?
That's true.
Duh, that's their loss, though.
I think it's because they don't like the idea that there's a human amongst their midst. So
Duh.
I'm gonna like give him a shoulder bump and be like, "We shun you too, man. Don't worry about it."
as long as you keep feeding me meatloaf on Thursdays.
I thought it was pot pie day you loved.
Oh, that's Friday.
I have to make sure he gets a pot pie, but he rather prefers the meatloaf. Are you going to make call because it is beeping very loud?
I guess I'll make the damn call, Jesus. I go over and make the call. I assume somebody else was going to do
No,
it.
I was holding the phone out to you the whole time. That's why she's like, it's beeping very loud.
Oh, I had no fucking clue. I didn't hear that part.
No, this whole time she's been holding out the corded phone to you.
I completely ignore it and take the phone.
Okay.
Pretend like it was the plan the entire time.
I can kind of picture Jasper, like, kind of lean back and stuff, and then notices her with the phone, and then like, oh.
Oh, excuse me. What? Why are you trying to hand this to me?
I didn't touch the buttons. Look, no soot. Just on back.
Now. Trying to give me space aids.
So, are you going to call? I assume you're trying to call James.
Yes.
Okay. So you'll have a number for the Bruiser, and the number will dial. It will ring 3 or 4 times, and a voice will come on the line. You don't recognise it. Yeah.
Hi, I'm looking for James.
Who's calling?
Jasper.
Jasper
Oh.
from the hospital.
Yeah, we have his man here. I'm just trying to talk to him real quick.
Yeah. I was told to put you through when you called. Give me 2. I'll put you through. There's a click.
Jasper.
There's some Greensleeve starts playing. It's a terrible recording. And then after a few seconds, the music goes off. There's another click. Jasper,
Yes, sir.
what have you got for me?
Well, your man is at least somewhat cognitive. He's back to reality some points. He's having trouble speaking, but that's okay. He can write stuff down real fancy. But I do have information about why he did what he did. Apparently, he was chasing after a Diabolist, and
Yeah.
when things got a little bit heavy, he got noticed, and things turned bad. We have a description for a man and all his information. I don't know if you want us to look into this, but as of right now, our job is pretty much done.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say your job is still going for a little bit. I've got a little bit of a issue that I'm dealing with at the moment, but I want to come and get him.
You want to come and get him? Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to get to you for a couple of nights.
That's fine.
If you can just sit on him for a bit. Right?
That's fine.
And keep him comfortable.
Yes, sir.
I'll pop by if it's okay with you. This is your haven, so I'm asking your permission to attend.
Yes, come on through, sir.
I'll come by and pick him up myself.
Okay, then.
Once I come and pick him up, your job's done, and we'll sort out the payment side of things, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Good skills. Good talk. Anything else you need from me?
No, sir. You have a wonderful evening.
Jasper, don't forget to mention there's some mind fuckery going on.
Oh, there's a mindfuckery going on.
I'm imagining that unless Jasper is specifically moving away from everybody else, the conversation is loud enough. I mean, you can certainly hear what Jasper is saying, and these phones are not quiet. So you can probably quietly hear what's happening on the other end. It would take Jasper actively trying to move away from people in order to make it quiet.
Is
He's
anyone
not.
keeping an eye on Helena in the background?
Is what, sorry?
Is anyone keeping an eye on Helena in the background?
I mean, Ivan probably is, but he's probably keeping an eye on your backside rather than anything else.
Tobias will be scribbling a note, but handing it to shit. What are the names of them? To Igor to make a run to the chantry to report the findings also.
Igor nods.
Hands him the piece of paper.
He strides out. One of his brothers trips him up as he's going. He turns around, swears at him, and then walks out. Everyone laughs.
Just for a bit of amusement, David's going to walk past and hand Yvonne a handheld dustbuster. Then head back towards Jasper and the phone.
What? He said sit on him. Helena is actively sitting on Nigel's lower back as the group turns.
Well, he's tied to the gurney on his stomach, so you'll be sat on his.
Well, she's sitting on his stomach then.
Okay.
She's straddling him. Don't lie.
Straddling.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
Face sitting.
Yeah.
She just gives him a firm pat on the chest while sitting on his stomach. What? I'm
Running her claws down his chest. That's what she's doing.
You'll see.
Looking back at us
what kind of magazine you read. I saw a hidden stash.
You'll see him.
Listen, lady, you don't want nothing about me.
You'll see him write something on a piece of paper. On the piece of paper. When Tobias goes to have a look at it to read out, it simply says, "Oh, the indignity," and it's very ordered writing.
Oh, I see that you're back to normal. Excellent.
Not while Cat has his tongue.
Oh, how did your tongue taste?
He just looks at you. It's like he's got a pissed off expression on his face and he looks at you.
Don't worry.
Do I have to sit on him all night?
He shakes his head.
Were we told if it was alright to sit only briefly?
No, we're gonna make him comfortable. If he wants you to sit on him in the room, then I guess
Shakes
so.
his head.
Oh, okay, so
sure?
we put him in jacket and then I sit. Got it.
Yes, go for it. There you go. Comfortable does not mean like he gets what he wants, though. He is not brat. So, there you
Do
are.
not worry, Nigel. I will take good care of you. We'll guard you tonight.
Shakes
And
his
she
head.
gives him another pat.
Just shakes his head. Just like...
Well, Nigel, you have choice. You can have Helena or you can have the boys.
He thinks,
They like vodka
he thinks
and
for a
fire.
second and then looks at the boys.
I'm sorry, Helena. He made his choice.
No.
Hey, don't be sad. I mean, he is Tremere, and you know how they're kind of funny like that.
I'm gonna-
Because I am Nosferatu.
If this phone call is done, then I'm gonna lean in real close.
No,
to
you just
him.
hear it in the background.
I'm gonna lean in real close to him and go, "As you can see, I'm the only normal one here, and I don't give a shit about you." And then walk away.
I feel like part of that was heard during the phone call, and then it was just ended when it was realized that part was done.
Yeah, I imagine James would have got bored of listening to that relatively quickly and just hung up.
Probably.
Well, considering he's used to dealing with our former group, I'm sure his level of tolerance for that sort of thing is
It's even worse than that now because he's got Stephen Wood as one of his minions now.
exactly. So I'm sure that as soon as things devolved, it was just an immediate click.
Getting tired of your shit.
Yeah, whatever. Hang up.
Boys, escort him back to a room and keep him company and comfortable.
I get to go down shoot. Yes.
Da, you get to go down shoot, and then we can speak to Baron. Bye now, Nigel. Go back to the room. Take him to a room.
I'm going to personally take him back to his room.
And
Are you
hurry
wheeling
back,
Gurney?
Baron.
Don't worry, guys. I got this.
Okay,
You
Are
should
you
come back.
wheeling Gurney?
We have something to discuss.
As you wheel the gurney out, you'll have 4 very excited, very Russian individuals following behind you, chattering away to one another and to you in an utterly incomprehensible Russian dialect. One of them is carrying a power drill. One of them is carrying a fairly large, fairly unpleasant-looking blade that looks a little bit like someone's tried to make a machete badly. One of them is shaking a box of matches as he walks, and the other one just has a look on his face. Just a look.
I am going to let them follow right behind, doing their crazy Russian thing all the way to his room.
Actually, there's only 3 of them. I tell a lie, sorry, because Igor left.
Whatever.
Helena is not moving, by the way.
They're all going to do their crazy Russian thing all the way up to the room. Then I'm going to put him into the bed, kick them the fuck out, and close the door.
You'll get a series of what you can imagine are probably swear words and protestations in some incomprehensible language.
Once we get up the top floor, Helena hops off their gurney and finds the nearest chute.
There is now a fairly dark arse patch on his stomach.
Yes.
Once I have him completely
And now you know why there's a dustbuster on the gurney.
Yeah, no shit. Once I have him completely alone, I'm going to sit him down. I'm going to hand him another piece of paper. I'm going to be like, you listen to me very well. You're almost done with this shit. All you have to do is talk. Now, I'm not leaving until you and I have a conversation.
He nods. He
Now,
keeps your eye while you're talking and he nods.
What the hell happened that night? I want every detail.
He draws a question mark, but he doesn't stop writing. He draws a question mark in the first instance and sort of taps the paper a couple of times. He then writes out a series of text: spotted target, identified as Diabolist, followed to identify destination, was engaged, lost consciousness.
I wait till he hands it to me.
Well, he doesn't hand it to you because he's tied down. Oh, actually, he's not tied. Are you untying him from the
Yeah,
gun?
I got it. I let him write.
My apologies. In that case, yes, he finishes writing and then hands you the piece of paper.
I take the piece of paper, I crumple it up without even looking at it, and I throw it over my shoulder. Still look at him dead in the eye. I say, what the fuck happened that night?
He looks at you. He opens his mouth and shows you that his tongue has been cut out. It has been bitten off, rather.
What do you like to drink? I got 2 days to get you out of here.
He lifts his wrist up and just taps his wrist.
Yeah. Do you have any preference?
Shakes his head.
Do you no preference? All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to tie him up again. Make sure he can't use his arms.
Point of order, my original goodie cart should still be sitting in the room.
Exactly. But I'm still going to tie him up, make sure he can't use his arms, do my whole orderly thing because it's been trained into me and it's just probably habit by this point. I'm going to pop one of the bags and I'm going to let him drink.
Okay. And
Dum, dum, dum,
he will
dum,
do. He's quite compliant. Are you standing outside or are you standing inside, Helena?
No, once we got up here, she stepped away and went down the chute.
Okay.
But rather, she goes down the chute once the conversation has a lull.
Okay. Well,
Explicitly for thuds.
The three boys are literally sitting on the floor outside the door to his room.
Come on, come on!
As
she jumps from the chute.
They say something to you and wave their hand. Okay.
Once they all leave, I'm going to leave too.
Okay.
I'm going to tell them I'm going to be back tomorrow. We'll have a conversation. And just leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Time passes. The rest of the evening goes by apparently without incident. The next evening.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to drag him along with me. He's going to come hang out with me. If we're going to go to the rec room, then he's coming to the rec room. Whatever we're doing, he's doing till the end of the night.
Okay.
He's going to stay in a straitjacket. He's going to stay tied up unless we need to undo him, but I mean, because we got to follow regulations.
To be fair to you, and I probably should make this really clear, he is being utterly compliant. He is doing exactly what he's being told.
You're right. I just don't want it going around that one of the patients was able to run free in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
If we keep him in a straitjacket while he's on the premises and doing shit like that, maybe when he's behind closed doors, we'll let him out. But as long as we maintain appearances, nobody's going to give a shit or say anything.
Okay. So the rest of the evening goes by. He follows you and does. If you don't give him instructions, he'll literally just stand behind you and wait. If you give him instructions, he'll do exactly what you tell him to do if it's within his ability to do it. If he can't do the thing that you're telling him to do, he will try and say something and obviously fail to do so, and then gesticulate for a pen so that he can write down that he can't do what you're asking him to do.
Anything he writes down, I pay no attention to.
But he will actively try to do whatever it is you tell him to do if it's in his powers to do so.
Yeah, it's just a show session.
And he doesn't.
We're gonna play Nintendo. Is what we're gonna do.
And at no point does he try to escape. He's compliant, completely compliant.
Yep.
The rest of the evening passes. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, during a quiet period, all right, I'm assuming that Jasper is going to take his hospital mandated breaks. So I know I can always find him in the rec room then. I'm going to be coming there. I'm going to have a large pad of paper with me and some drawing and drafting pencils.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask him if he has any sort of sketching ability.
Jasper?
No.
Oh, gotcha.
He reaches for a pencil.
Yeah.
He'll write on the pad from a technical perspective, yes. And the word, as he's writing now, the words are becoming less disordered.
Well, I guess I'll probably have to do the art part then, won't I? I was thinking, you gave us a description, rough description. I think if we can try and put together a composite, I don't know how good of a look you got at the person, at their face.
He will write good enough, and he'll gesture for the pad.
Right. Well, because I'm going to give him an opportunity, to, if he can't draw, then I'm going to go ahead and turn my talents to it as well. Try and, do the whole, what sort of cant to the eyes, that sort of thing. Just, I'm trying to do a rough composite of the face.
Okay.
I'm assuming that is going to be a craft.
Yeah. do a... What should we do this off of? Dexterity, I guessed.
You have to pick dexterity, wouldn't you?
In fairness, I'm not looking at your character sheet.
Time to spend some XP. Can I give myself a specialization in sketching?
You can rouse the blood to increase your dexterity if you wish to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing so.
What am I doing? I will need to...
All right, I roused.
Okay. Yep, so you get an extra die, or however many extra die that you get based on your blood potency. If you have a higher blood potency, you might get more dice.
All right, and all right, let's see what we can come up with.
Ooh. That's pretty good.
I've got 4 successes.
That's pretty good also. You do a drawing. He seems to be quite... He writes on the pad where you do things that he doesn't agree with. But he helps you to build a picture, and when he gets close to the kind of things that he's familiar with, he will nod.
All right, great.
What you've got is a picture of a tall man with long kind of flowing locks rather than just long hair. It's long, full-bodied hair, wearing a long trench coat.
I tried to
open at the front with like a cord that goes between it.
I tried to pay special attention to the facial features, though, because once I'm done with that, I'm going to turn to Jasper and say, hey, feel like calling Jimmy's office again, find out what their fax number is? I want to send this over.
I guess I can call him again.
Well, I have a feeling if we can get them a description, they've got more people than we do.
Probably. Yeah, I'll give him a call.
Find out a fax and find out when a secure time to send it would be.
You can call the number and ask for a fax number, and they'll give you a fax number.
When is can I find out a secure time as well?
They'll just give you a number. It'll go through to a particular office. They're quite happy for you to send to.
All right. So I'm basically going to fax them a copy. I'm also going to make about 5 photocopies for us.
Okay.
I'm going to give one to each of our erstwhile party members, including the one who has, decided that she would rather sit and, drink spiked blood in her office than help us with the investigation.
Cough, cough.
Keeps muttering something about pretty Vikings,
Cough, cough.
But anyway, I'm hoping that will help us recognize what this person might be in the future. Yeah, I know. Look at me being all responsible type.
Mm.
Somebody's got to be an adult, and I promise you, it's not going to be me.
And meanwhile, as you as you see me get done, and I set all my stuff aside, you also see that underneath the pad I was carrying a book, and it said "Sketching for Dummies."
Nice. You bullshitted your way through it, and that's how we like it.
And you'll also, just for you'll see in his pocket behind his stethoscope is a little yellow pamphlet. If you look close, it says Cliff Notes, The Taming of the Shrew.
Shake my fucking head. You gotta grin at me, but shake my fucking head. So yeah, after we fax it off, we go to sleep, and that's the end of that. I inform everyone that he is not to be bothered for the rest of the evening, and that tomorrow he is going to be almost have free reign to do as he wishes.
He nods.
But of course, my parent. But of course.
The rest of the evening goes by. Just before the sun starts to rise, Igor will return. He will come straight to the mortuary and hand a piece of paper to Tobias. It simply says, "Will call tomorrow."
Tobias will hit it. Burn it.
A wicked grin appears on Igor's face, and he excitedly dashes out.
Then Tobias will retire to his office and then take his sleep.
Okay.
Yes. Who knew that burning a small scrap piece of paper involved 10 gallons of gasoline?
I too will also feed and sleep.
The next evening,
Because I'm
the next evening opens in the way that it normally opens. Everyone has their own little routines that they engage in. About an hour and a half after the sun sets and you're active and moving around, two things happen in relatively close succession to one another. Firstly, a telephone call is received in the mortuary.
Thank you for calling the Horde. This is Dr. Tobias Petrovich speaking. How may I help you?
Dr. Petrovich. It's barking time.
Duh. Well, hello, Barky. How's it going?
Barkentine, Dr. Petrovich.
Yes,
Let's
my
not get
Lord
familiar.
Regent. Duh. I forgot myself for a moment.
Thank you for the visitor you sent us last night.
Duh.
We have things to discuss with regard to your guest.
Duh. I figured as much.
Is he being well taken care of? I'm not 100% happy with the idea of him being mistreated.
Duh, he's being very well taken care of. We had to do what we had to do to jog his memory. And face his condition. You know me, I get results.
I understand. However, I think he would be safer and better taken care of in the chantry.
Duh.
Perhaps we could arrange for him to be transferred.
Duh. Out of character. How long was until James comes?
2 nights, so James will be coming the
Nice.
following evening.
Well, you might wish to hurry to arrive tonight. Then I made arrangements with Baron. I'm sure Baron would be cooperative if you speak to him personally.
You want me to talk to your Baron?
If you wish to, why would you not?
Because I'm giving this job to you, Dr. Petrovich.
Oh, I see. How would you like to be dealt with for other little thing that was in note?
We will deal with that later.
Oh, okay. Well,
We can
I
keep,
was hoping to deal with it too.
we can keep that in reserve for later activities.
Oh,
But for the
goody.
time
Well,
being, I think his safety and his comfort is of paramount importance to the house and clan. So if we can have him moved to the Chantry, I think that's probably for the best.
Send 2 people over for later, and we will do it.
Very well.
Da. Macedonia.
Thank you.
And hangs up. Yeah.
Probably while this conversation is going on, there is a phone call put through to the rec room where Jasper happens to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's come through the switchboard, and it's specifically for you. The switchboard operator. Actually, that's not true. Thinking about it, that's not how it would work. You'll get a tannoy come through saying, "Can Jasper come to the admin office?" In fact, that's exactly how it would happen.
All right, I would pick up the phone and not say anything because I'm assuming they're expecting me. So,
Is this Jasper?
who am I speaking to?
I am the right master.
Oh, hello. What can I do for you, sir?
I understand you have a guest at the moment.
Yes, sir.
That guest may be responsible for some unfortunate business in town a couple of nights ago.
Yes, sir.
It has come
You can
to our attention that it may be advantageous for us to take an interest in this particular case on behalf of the Duchess.
Yes, sir.
We will be in attendance at your facility with your permission to take custody of your guest.
I instantly telegraphed to Princess to go stand in front of his door and do not let anyone touch it.
I was going to say the dog nods. The dog doesn't nod. The dog just leaves.
Yes, sir.
The phone hangs up.
I hang up and then head straight to the door.
Mhm.
I go inside. Once I get there,
Well, once you get there, you'll find Princess standing off against 2 Russians standing outside the door, who are talking to the dog in some incomprehensible Russian accent. They look a little bit frustrated.
I'm going to grab one by the back of the head, look him straight in the fucking eyes, and point just for them to leave. That's it. And I'm going to let him go.
Okay, he leaves.
And hold my arm out. And I look toward the other one.
He's laughing. He's laughing and looking over his shoulder at the other who's just been told to leave.
I'm going to stand straight up to him, too. And this time I'm going to puff my chest out and give him a bump and also point.
His shoulders slump. He says some words and turns and drags his feet as he walks away.
I'm going to go inside, unlock the door.
The door is unlocked.
Close it.
The door is unlocked. Inside you find a further Russian gentleman sitting on the edge of the bed with a power drill in his hand.
I am also going to grab him by the back of his fucking skull. Look him dead in the eyes and point to the door.
He looks dejected and walks away, occasionally pressing the button on the power drill.
Is there anyone else in the room?
There is not.
I'm going to shut the door, lock it, and sit right next to him.
Okay. Nigel has a few small wounds on his chest and stomach area, seem to have been administered by a power drill.
Well, shit happens when you fart naked. I don't know what you want. Not my goddamn problem. I'm going to order Princess to sit on the other side of the door. So where it swings open, she is behind the door. And wait for my cue. And if I say anything, attack anyone that comes. I don't care who it is.
She sits.
And then we wait.
Okay. Time passes. Is anyone else doing anything?
Start of the night, David, after eating his late breakfast, aka supper, he'll then go about, stop by the fridge down at the morgue, and then go about doing his bag delivery that one to each of the inhabitants, as it will.
Okay.
His gesture of goodwill. I'll also take one up towards Nigel's room since we have a distinguished guest.
Okay. Tobias, are you doing anything, bearing in mind you've had your telephone call, are you doing anything with that information, or are you sitting on it?
He's going to sit on, but Tobias will also be doing his normal thing of his disciplines that he normally casts every night.
Are you doing that in the mortuary?
Sure.
So, David, when you get to the mortuary, the doors are closed. You will know, almost certainly from having lived together, when the doors to the mortuary are closed, it's a bad idea to open them. Mostly because it hurts.
Well, some people like pain.
Okay.
But instead, I will just knock.
In a minute! Give me just 2 minutes!
I've seen it all before. You don't have to pull your pants up this time. I'm just here for the daily delivery.
1 minute! Alright, there's that. And then, the Rowls, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm hungry. And then I can drink, so it's fine.
Yeah. So I'm imagining, let's address that right now. I'm imagining that you guys have had sufficient capacity to be able to feed. So let's set you all up as being effectively full. You're in your domain, in your haven, and have control over the flow of blood within the building itself. So you can all be effectively filled, particularly with David's efforts.
Yeah, I have that's part of my little daily thing, is to make sure it, because a good doctor takes care of his patients.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then after that, Tobias, you'll hear clanking of the cane, and then he'll open the mortuary door. Oh, hello, David. How's it going? Oh, wait, Dr. David.
Well, it's Friday. They had chicken pot pie. I'm doing rather well.
Lovely.
But I'm here to deliver everyone else's breakfast.
Oh,
I figured I'd take one to our distinguished guest, Nigel, as well.
Oh, great. Let me get something for him first.
Do you think he'll need two? I mean, I know you sent your cohorts to look after him. Do you think he'll need the extra?
Oh, most definitely, but he would need the extra one. And he'll go over, get the blood bag, he's got a spare thing of his Vitae and puts it in the bag. Secret ingredient, it'd be great. And then puts it back on. Here, hand it to him. There you go.
You're going to make me notice that, or is this rather obvious to me?
Oh, it's rather obvious. He isn't hiding it. Plus, he's already,
Got it. Special just for Nigel.
Duh.
I'm sure
Please.
he'll appreciate the extra, the 7 herbs and spices.
Duh. Don't give it to anyone else. It's highly not recommended.
All right. I then go about delivering.
Click.
And as tempted as I am as to make sure to give that one to Fish's character.
You won't do it.
Tobias is clicking his way to towards Nigel's room as slow as can be.
All right. Yeah, and I am assuming we're all going to end up at Nigel's room as well.
Let's say you eventually all end up at Nigel's room.
Well, I don't know what Helena's doing, but
Well, let's say Helena happens to amble past the room and when you guys are all there.
This early evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just going down to shoot again.
And I'll make sure when I get there to hand the blue tagged bag to Jasper. And as far as and I still have the one with the specially spiced by just reserved just for Nigel this time.
The Petrovich Reserve.
And then I stop outside the door and I look at the dog. I look at the door. Can you tell him we're here?
You wouldn't see the dog. He's on the inside. Or she's on the inside.
Oh, I thought you had her on the outside. My mistake.
Nope, she's positioned as the door opens, so as you enter the door, she's on the other side.
You mentioned locking it, so I guess I will have to knock.
As David approaches the door, and as you guys all effectively get approach together towards the door, Princess will stand up and start making sounds towards the door.
I'm just going to put my finger to my lips.
She sits down.
And I knock out shave and a haircut. Yeah.
Who is it?
And that when he says who is it, I finish with the
Who is it? I'm going to walk up to the door, and I'm going to put a key into the door, so they can't.
Okay.
And then I'm going to open up I'm assuming that this cell has some sort of
Slide hatch.
food tray. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to open that up.
housekeeping. You want me fluff pillow?
I'm sorry, I can't let you in here.
Okay. Did you
yeah.
murder him in cold blood again?
No, we have a direct order from the Duchess. The Right Master is on his way to pick him up.
May I just point out a slight point of order with regard to that?
What?
That wasn't a direct order from the Duchess. That was the Right Master stating that on behalf of the Duchess, it's in his interest to take possession of.
Whatever. It means the exact same thing to Jasper.
That's fine. As long as you understand that's the case, and Jasper's understanding of that is that means the same thing. That's fine.
Yeah. He said he's doing it in the Duchess's name.
Mm-hmm.
There's blind faith, sadly.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
I'm sorry, we got a direct order from the Duchess. Right Master's on his way to pick him up. I can't let you in here.
Interesting.
I don't know why he wants him. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not taking any risks. This is above my pay grade. This is above your pay grade. Last thing we want to do is piss this guy off.
I imagine Helena's just lingering in the background listening.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set the 3 bags on the tray and kind of push them through the slot, so to speak.
I take all 3. And eat none of them.
So the Duchess called?
Right, Master did.
Right, Master. You say that, so I guess he probably identified himself as Right Master instead of his name.
Yes.
That means official business.
And the other option is it's somebody's lying, and if they're using the right master's name, well, they're going to die very quickly.
Well, all right. Well, have fun. Oh, here. And he reaches behind him and kind of pulls out from his back pocket and says, something to keep you occupied, and it's the Complete Idiot's Guide to Pool and Billiards. I figured we could upgrade the rec room with a pool table next. The pinball machines are fun, but after a while, I'm tired of losing my fake quarters.
I agree. Well, I'll give this a read, and I'll let you know what I think.
All right. Well, I'll be off then. I've got rounds, and I've got a new batch that I gotta finish cooking.
I'm assuming I'm looking through the hole, and I notice Tobias on the other side as well.
Let's say, Spires probably arrives during that discourse. So yeah,
you hear the clacking,
and I'll make my way back to my lab and the phone there.
All right, I'll give you a visit once I'm done here.
Oh, that'll be fine. You know how it is. I always got busy work. Not to mention, we've got to make money somehow. The palace doesn't pay us enough to run this on our own.
They do not.
So what is going on, my Baron?
I'm sorry, but this has become quarantined. The right master is on his way to pick up our friend here. And
Son of a bitch. We have dilemma.
Is something wrong?
Oh, the Chantry wishes him to be at Chantry. The orders came from the request came from Barkentine himself.
I put out my finger to the right underneath the slot to Princess. Oh yeah?
Duh.
You're trying to fulfill that order?
Well, I was hoping to. But now we have the dilemma because we have 2 people wanting him.
Yeah, I can't let you do that.
Well, my Baron. I am thinking of solution. Which would you like to have favor with more? The right master or the Chantry?
The right master.
Duh.
I'm gonna still keep pressing the key into the keyhole.
Can you two, Jasper and Tobias, can you make an intelligence plus politics roll, please?
Sure.
You got it. Okay.
The 2 of you just hear Helena humming behind Tobias.
A3.
Okay. So Jasper, you will understand that So James is the Count of the Guild of War and Security. You know that the Right Master and Barkentine are both aides to the Duchess.
Yeah.
Tobias will probably understand that the Right Master holds a fairly significant amount of power within the city, because although both Barkentine and the Right Master are her aides, the Right Master seems to have more of her ear than Barkentine does. However, Barkentine has his fingers in significantly more pies than the Right Master does. The Right Master is only in charge of the Guild of the Rights. Barkentine went out of his way to make sure he had people everywhere, and has connections with every guild in the city. And he also has the Duchess's ear, not to the same level that the Right Master does, but still he does. James probably has less clout than both of them individually, but he effectively, this is a security related issue, and effectively falls within his jurisdiction more than it falls in the other two's jurisdiction. So this is actually kind of a sticky political situation. It's entirely possible for people, any of them, to throw their weight around with regards to this particular situation, and depending on how the courtly politics falls depends on who's right. It's not quite as clear cut as saying the Right Master called, therefore he's in charge, and it's not as clear cut. You will know, even though you might personally think differently, it's not as clear cut as saying the Regent called and he's in charge. This is a delicate situation.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. One of the reasons I'm going with the Right Master for multiple reasons. One, I want his sway.
Yeah.
The rights are a very important part for me. You already know of my plans. I'm not going to discuss them right now. Two, because frankly, they told me that he was part of an incident, which means that he might have breached the Masquerade, and this might be a punishment. And if that's the case, I'm not standing between those two. Period. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's why I'm willing to push this so far, is because if he did something, if there was a breach of the Masquerade, if there was some incident that happened, and it's on behalf of the Duchess, then I will not stop her from pulling out justice, because that's how you keep people in line. And if I'm going to stop it, then I'm probably going to get in trouble too, and I don't want to do that. Period. So I'll roll those dice. That's just me.
So, my Baron, I am open to disregard Chantry. It is, ash chewing is most likely probably good. However, which one do you want to do?
Well, I can tell you right now, the only person that's coming in here is the Right Master, because he's on his way personally.
Okay. It is fine. I can always tell Barkentine that it was overruled by my Baron, and that the Right Master got here before the people.
I don't care what you tell him. Not my
That's
business.
great. But I wish to, hear your plan.
Plan? I don't got a plan. My plan is to survive.
Very, very wise. Okay, well, we'll go with your plan. Of surviving.